Howdy hobbyists, today on Treetop Hobby Woodworks. I hit myself in the head with a cant hook. State the obvious. You know what? I am not a sawmill. And I drill a hole. This is a pecan tree. In Texas, we've got loads of pecan trees, but this one is special. This one came out of my backyard and we're gonna mill it into something for a special project. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But let's just enjoy some good old-fashioned cutting it down and milling it out. Okay, so here's what's happened. I knew this tree was gonna be problematic and there was probably gonna be some metal in it. Seeing how it came out of my backyard and was my wife's grandmother's tree, had a clothesline around it. I thought I could probably get through the thing without too much damage. It's now 2.5 blades in. The last cut I did after I hit the metal, I knew I'd hit the metal and I knew it was gonna be a bad cut. But honestly, I refueled and kept the blade in and powered it through. I didn't want to waste another blade having to get to it and finish the log off. We know we're gonna have to cut this down. This thing is so wet. It is extremely green. So there's gonna be a lot of material changing as this thing goes through its drying process. It's probably gonna have to sit for 2 months just on a pallet before I can even get it to a dry kiln. That said, I know what I want to do with it. You know, we want to make the mantle out of this piece of wood, possibly another one. But I think I can get still more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll this back to this side down, and I'm gonna try to get that mantle right off the top of here and essentially miss this piece of metal. I think this is that cable. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think, you know, old telephone cable or something would be that detrimental, but it completely destroys the blade. You know what? I am not a sawmill that does only sawmilling. I'm trying to create hobby woodworking wood. And so I'm going to treat every order like a custom order. This is absolutely a custom order. You kind of do what you have to get the art, for lack of a better term, out of out of the wood that you're given. And since this is a sentimental piece of wood that came from backyard and has got 100 years worth of family history to it, it's important to us that we get it. So I'm going to have to eventually, what I'm thinking is if I flip this over and cut here and remove this lower half, hopefully missing the cable, which I think comes out and terminates coming out of the log. I'm going to turn it over one more time. If I can cut that off, and then I'm going to dry it as it is at that point. We'll dry it. It's gonna, like I said, this thing is so wet. It's gonna take forever, and then it's gonna have to go to a kiln. But I really don't want to lose too much more material if I can help it. I may spend a few minutes digging on this just to see if I can see where it goes. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I think if this thing got cut off here and terminated at that end, that might give enough product. All that said, I still have another piece of this tree out there. So if all goes haywire and I just can't get it done with this one, then I've got some options. The other option is I could chew off, thinner planks on this and build my mantle out of essentially making a box. So that's an option too. But first I'm going to flip this over, see if I can't get around this, and then dry this bad boy down to a usable piece of art that's going to look fantastic in our buffalo room. I'll explain that later. And as you can see, I ultimately decided to go ahead and dig out whatever this metal was. It wasn't the cable that was in there before. It might have been a spike or a nail that was holding that cable in. It may have been like a clothesline or something. So digging in there, and sure enough, nice big spike nail in there, which will absolutely destroy your blades, and it did. Once I got this out, left a pretty good knot hole in there, but that's what it looked like. Go ahead and swap the blade out again, and we'll get cranking here and get this thing cut down.